Katie, the Pirates played their first matches in 13 years, a nationally ranked team last weekend on the road in Oregon, and they were challenged. Both teams came to play, but the Pirates came out with a couple of hard-fought victories. What did you see from the team that you really liked, and where are we still trying to get better?
Yeah, it was a good weekend, and I think some things that I really liked and was proud of them for. I think just their resiliency, their toughness, their ability to kind of reset mentally when things weren't going our way. I think being able to perform under pressure with some of those, expectations on the road against a good team in a tough environment, and to kind of fight through some things that weren't going our way and to find a way to score when it mattered and get those wins. I just think really speaks to kind of their toughness, their strength in our chemistry and our culture. I think our leadership, our experience out there on the court, our upperclassmen kind of provide that calmness and that reassurance when it's necessary. So I think, yes, I'm walking away from this weekend with those 2 wins, incredibly grateful and proud of how they performed. I think things that we're working on, we still want to continue to be more consistent behind the serving line. I think that really got us into trouble. And I think it's kind of 2 parts with serving. I think that is sort of our mindset. I think we can affect our consistency or serving based off of what we're thinking about, and but also just continuing to get better at that in practice, serving in tight situations and working to put a little bit more pace on our serves. And then I think for us too, just consistency in our defense and our first contact, so it can allow us to continue to be more dynamic and a threat offensively. I felt like both George Fox and Pacific did a really good job with their offense in preparing and trying to swing against our block, and I felt like we didn't block as well as maybe we normally do. And so I think for us, just always knowing that teams are going to have a game plan and we need to continue to adapt and adjust in the moment.
So midweek last week, news came out that Pirates had appeared in the top 25 poll at number 24, but first time for Whitworth since 2011. Is that something that is even talked about amongst the team? Are they aware of it? And if so, what do you guys do with that?
Yes, they are aware, and I think they had a lot of excitement about it. I think for them it was maybe really affirming and just validating in being recognized. But it also doesn't matter. It means nothing. So what does matter is just us continuing to win, continuing to get better, continuing to just stay focused in the moment, and knowing that we have still a lot of games ahead of us and a lot of tough challenges ahead of us. And so I think trying to not get distracted by anything outside of what's happening right now. And so while I think it's an honor, I think they also recognize and we communicate that it really doesn't matter. What matters is how they show up every day in practice and in those matches.
You talked about tough matches ahead of you still. One of those is tomorrow night at Whitman, a team that beat you guys down there last year, right around this time of year.
Yes.
Is that foremost on the team's mind, that this is a team that plays us so hard down there?
Yes, absolutely. And I think too, the timing of coming off of a tough weekend already with limited rest time and limited practice time leading into tomorrow, I think for all of those reasons make it exceptionally challenging. And so I just think for our girls to recognize that, and our message is always not being fearful of losing, not playing with that fear to lose, but rather focusing on that urgency and that intensity and that desperation to want to play your very, very best and seek out a win, focusing on what we can control, knowing that Whitman's going to play us really, really tough, and just going in there and just trying to once again take one more step forward, this progress, this journey of, yes, we want to win, but we also want to be getting better. So what can we do, tomorrow night in these moments where we can really work to get better?
And then Saturday, finally back here at the field house for what seems like forever, about 3 weeks. A Linfield team that you guys have played already this year.
Yeah.
In what ways are they different or better than the first time you saw them?
Yeah, they're definitely better because I think they're just kind of gaining more confidence and more experience. They've had a couple of key wins recently. Beating Pacific was their latest victory. And so I think for that, they're a young team, they're a new team, new coaching staff. So I think there were just a lot of pieces they were trying to figure out. And now that they're halfway through conference, I think there's a little more consistency, a little more confidence. And with that, they have some really talented players. So I'm going to expect a really, really tough match. And I'm sure they'll likely see, other teams having success against us in certain ways. And so I feel like they'll be really well prepared, and we're going to have to bring our very best.